to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman, and now it's time to get on the 2025 driver lineup predictions. I'm in the corner, I'm small, because this stream's not about me. This stream is about getting the drivers up there, and let's have a look at next year's lineup. I've seen a few other people do it, so I thought I'd get involved. Now's the time to get the predictions in now, before everybody starts playing musical chairs and we start getting confirmations. There's 13 seats up for grabs next season. 13 seats. We've had no changes between last year and this year, but next year is going to be a completely different lineup. But yeah, I'm gonna get into it because we haven't got any music playing, have we? No, I think we're all good. No outro playing or anything. No, we're all good. But yeah, right, we're going to get into this. We're going to do, and I want your opinions as well, who you think's driving where for 2025. So let's get into it. What I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to put the drivers where they are currently. So I've still got this thing with the skin tone messing up with the camera. I don't know why it's doing that, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to get them on the screen and we're going to put them in the seats that they're in now. We're going to put them under the teams that they're in now, and then we're going to start messing about with it, swapping them all around and seeing what kind of a lineup. Might do a bit of a fantasy lineup as well, but we'll see what kind of a lineup we can draw up for next season. With Hamilton to Ferrari, you know, nothing's out of the question anymore. Nothing's out of the question. Right, let's get the drivers on screen and let's get them tucked into the teams as they are now. So first up, Verstappen. Here he is. I could have done this in a serious way, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have a laugh with this. Right, Max is at Red Bull now. I'm gonna put them in where they are now. Perez. Let's have a look. Right, so this is how it is now. 2024. Who's next? Roll on up. Charles Leclerc. Banana Man. Right. He's at Ferrari. Right. With signs on the hospital bed. Just had his appendix out. Boom. Right. He's at Ferrari now. So I'll put him where they are now, and then we'll mess about with them afterwards. Let's have a look at Lewis. Hey, do you know what? I could have done this in a serious way. I thought, do you know what? There's going to be two watching, and there is two watching, so I might as well have fun with it. Do you know what I mean? I might as well have a bit of a laugh with this. Right, so Lewis is there for now. For now. Let's get everyone lined up. What's Russell saying? Russell's had a bad day, mate. Russell's in tears. Lewis is leaving. Right, who's next? Fernando Alonso. Alonso will move, I think. Alonso will move. But he's at Aston right now. But I think he's due for he's gonna go for the move, I think, Alonso. What's Lance saying? I think that's one of the best ones. That's got to be one of the better ones, hasn't it? Good, Lance. Lance. That's after a hard session, that is. Right, we'll stick Lance here. Who else have we got? Oh, here's Lando. Lando looking absolutely top notch. Right, so Lando's in at McLaren. He'll probably stay, to be fair. He'll probably stay. But yes, Dougie, I don't know if you're still here, but welcome into a wild and wacky stream, mate. Well, you got to have fun, don't you? You got to have fun. Here's Oscar. Denver's favourite. Denver on an absolute session the other night, thinking he's going to win the Australian Grand Prix. Oh God, I've still got the chat thing, haven't I? Wait, hang on. Let me hide that chat box thing. Alonso on a brainy mode. You ain't seen nothing yet. Right. I thought, do you know what, Dougie? I thought I might as well have fun with this. I could come on and go, oh, we're doing a very serious stream today. I think, nah, let's have a bit of fun in it. And I knew it'd only be you watching anyway, innit, Dougie? So we might as well get Alexander Albon on a full surprise mode. Right, so Albon's obviously at Williams now. Once we get everyone on screen, then we start messing about. Then have a bit of a. Here's Sargent on the bevs. Sargent on the bevs. Danny Rick. Go on, Danny lad. Danny Rick, I think this could be his last season. Danny Rick. People talk about Danny Rick to Red Bull. I think it's Danny Rick to a retirement home. To be honest, here's Yuki. Go on, the Yuki. Baby of the grid. Slot him in there for now. For now. You never know. Could be big moves coming for Yuki Tsunoda. Gasly loving a bit of the turbulent plane situation going on here for Pierre Gasly, looking a bit concerned. Well, he should be concerned about his team right now. We'll stick Gasly in there for now. This is Ocon's happy enough though. No, I'm just putting them where they are for now, where they are now first, and then we'll start messing them. Then we start juggling them up. We'll get Ocon in here. You know what I mean? Let's get him in the current seats. Yuki should be the picture of the driver who crashed the car. Who? Nah, Yuki's is the best one. Talk about changing Yuki's. Yuki's the best one, man. That's the best one I've got. Right, anyway, right. He's in there. Let's get them all out. Let's get them all on the table. What's Hulkenberg saying? Hulkenberg! Right, Hulkenberg's in. Right, that was in his Renault days, that. I thought it's a funny picture, that, isn't it? What's Magnussen saying? Oh, yeah, that's what Magnussen's saying. That was pole position, that. That was pole position in Brazil, that. Right. What's Bottas saying? Oh, that's what Bottas is saying, mate. Right, so we nearly done it. Right, well, we nearly started it, should I say. Right, and then what Zhou Guan Yu say? Right, Zhou Guan Yu on a beast mode. Right, Chad Zhou. Right, he's there. Right. So that's the current lineup, right? But we all know it's changing. So let's have a look who's moving where. Let's have a look what's confirmed then, right? So we know Lewis is going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Sainz. And Sainz is going to come over here a minute. Sainz can come over it. This margin down the right-hand side it's not looking good, Brev. This is the it's not looking good, Brev, margin on the right-hand side, right? So Lewis, it's hard to click on because I've got so many pictures, right? Lewis is going over to there. Now leaves a seat of Mercedes. Russell, number one driver. So we'll move him across. Russell, number one. Maybe. Right. Who else? Now, what happens with Perez? I think what I'll do two versions of this. I'll do if Verstappen stays and if Verstappen leaves. Because that's a massive... That Verstappen moving changes everything. Verstappen moving changes the whole thing. So we'll do it as if Verstappen stays at Red Bull. It depends how Perez does, but I could see the Perez-Tsunoda swap, you know. But then would Perez just retire on the back of that? Anyway, I think, right, McLaren's going to stay the same. So I'll keep Norris and Piastri. Piastri can stay there. Right, now, does Alonso now move across? Is it a Russell Alonso Mercedes lineup next year? Lance Stroll's looking pretty upset about it. I mean, it just sums up his career, that picture. But does Alonso? And then what I would do then, if Alonso switched over there, I get Sainz from the "it's not looking good" Brev category, and I put him in there. And I go Sainz, Stroll, Aston Martin. Stroll has to go. It's like Claude on AFTV. It's time to go. No, it is time to go, but there's no point in even fantasizing about that because he'll be there. He'll be there. So there's no point in even. As much as I'd like to take Lance Stroll out of the equation completely, he's probably going to be there. But I would say that's a scenario for the top 5 teams there, where if Max stays, Checo's looking good at the moment. So we'll keep Checo in there right now because he's following up Max with second places at the minute. So I can't start chucking out a man that's in the first 2 races got 2 second places, can I? That would just be disingenuous. So we'll keep that top row as it is. So we've got Verstappen, Perez, Red Bull, Leclerc, Hamilton at Ferrari. I'm going Russell, Alonso. I go Alonso on a 1-year deal. I go Alonso on a 1-year final goodbye. I keep McLaren the same. They're nailed on long term. Norris, Piastri. Then we'll go Sainz, Stroll at Aston Martin. Now let's get into Williams. Now I think Alexander Albon would like the move. Now you could almost go Albon over here. Do you know what I mean? Albon up to Aston Martin and put Sainz back in the it's not looking good, Brev category. And maybe you go Sainz to Red Bull, or I don't know. But I'm going to keep, as much as I'd like Alex to make the move up here, or even to there, you see, that's a lineup, isn't it? Russell Albon's a lineup. But I feel like that's unlikely. I feel like the most likely option, he stays there for next year. He stays at Williams, but with a new teammate. I'm sorry, Logan Sargent. You're going in the "it's not looking good" Brev little margin over here. You're going over here because I think in at Williams will come Andrea Kimi Antonelli. I am putting Andrea Kimi Antonelli in with Alexander Albon there at Williams. I'm saying that's Williams' lineup next season. That's obviously provided Kimi Antonelli lives up to the hype and gets some good results, because he's not had a perfect start to his F2 career, shall we say. But I'll go Albon, Antonelli at Williams. Now, RB is an interesting one. If Yuki performs really well and Sergio falls off a cliff, let's say in the second half of the season, I can see him swapping around and all of a sudden you get a Verstappen Tsunoda lineup. That would be fireworks. And that's why they probably wouldn't do it. So what I will do is I will keep Tsunoda at RB. I think he's good enough. I don't think he'll lose his seat. He might want to leave the RB. He might want to leave the Red Bull family. He might have a word with Aston Martin. If the dominoes start to fall and Alonso goes to Mercedes, I could see Tsunoda in here with Stroll. But probably the bookies would have him staying on. Now, this is the interesting one. Daniel Ricciardo. I think he's gone. I hope not. I hope he really does turn it round this season and gets back to the Daniel Ricciardo of old. But in my heart of hearts, deep down, I think he might be done. I want to be proved wrong. And I want to see Danny Rick back at it. But it needs to happen sooner rather than later to save his F1 career, I feel like. So for me, that means that Yuki will then be number 1 at RB. He'll be the one with the experience. I think he'll be into his 4th season by the time he gets to the beginning of next year. So I'll keep Yuki in there, and then I'll bring in your man. I think that's the best picture of the whole lot. Picture of the day, Liam Lawson. And that is ruthless that picture exists online. Absolutely ruthless. Oh, he wouldn't thank me if he saw this, but he'll never see it. But yeah, I'm going to put Liam Lawson in there. I'm going with a Sonoda Lawson at RB next season. I think it's make or break for Danny Rick, and I'm saying it's break. Hopefully it's make. I'd love to see Danny Rick back at his best, you know. Loved him at Red Bull when he was like 2017, 2018. He was tearing it up, you know. He was going toe-to-toe with Max Verstappen 6 years ago. You know, how it has fallen off, it's beyond words how it's fallen off. But yeah, I'm going Sonoda Lawson at RB. Now Haas is an interesting one. I think we could see Hulk on the move now. We could see a Hulkenberg across to Stake. I can't put his picture on top, it's underneath, but yeah. We could see a Hulkenberg across, a sideways move, but I feel like one of these is going. Maybe K-Mag moves to endurance racing. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say to keep Hulkenberg, but Kevin Magnussen moves on. He had a great, he played the great team role in Saudi Arabia last week, but maybe Kev will move on at the end of this season. Maybe not. Maybe they'll keep Hulkenberg, Magnussen, and keep the experience and all that. But there is a man waiting in the wings. And that is Oliver Bearman. I think Ollie Bearman gets in. I've not actually got Ollie Bearman on here, have I? I've not even saved his picture. Right, you're gonna have to imagine Oliver Bearman there. Right, I'm going Haas, Hulkenberg, Bearman. Invisible Bearman. Yeah, I've not got him. I didn't save his picture. Right. Then Alpine. Again, Alpine, I think one of these two leaves as well. I think at Alpine, I think Pierre Gasly will be on the phone to Aston Martin. Can you get me in? You know, he might get on to Williams to replace Sargent. Could Williams go Albon Gasly? I think Gasly's going to want out. You know, I think Gasly will want that Aston Martin seat. But I can't see a situation where, if both of these drivers stay on, they're both extremely loyal and staying on a sinking ship. Does Ocon get the Mercedes call up is another big one. Does Ocon go alongside Russell? Now, I'm not keen on that idea. You know, that in my fantasy F1 lineup world, a Russell Ocon lineup at Mercedes is not that exciting. But it might be a sensible option. Alonso will jump a bit to Red Bull and Mercedes, but not sure it's the right move for both teams. Alonso and Russell will be more number one. Yeah, could Alpine leave F1? I don't think so. They've got massive investment. I mean, never say never, innit? I can't tell you for definite, but I'd say not. They'll have to just weather the storm. But they've gone through a lot of stuff in the last couple of years. I know that. But no, I can't see a situation where they pull out completely. That would be madness. And then that makes the Andretti decision even more of a of a stupid decision than it already was. But no, I think the 10 teams that are in F1 now are solid, which is a good thing. You know, Stake will obviously become Audi in a couple of years, and teams will change guises along the way, but they are a solid outfit. I can't see Alpine or Renault, should I say Renault Group, pulling the plug on the whole operation. So I don't think so. But Ocon's gonna want that Mercedes call up. Will he get it? I don't know. Maybe it could be Ocon at Aston. If Alonso, see, it's all about if Alonso takes the Mercedes deal, or if he wants the Mercedes deal, if he's offered the Mercedes role, does he do that? Because that changes everything. If Alonso stays put there, where is Sainz going? Do you know what I mean? If Alonso stays at Aston Martin, you could see a situation where you get Sainz going over to Red Bull and Perez to Aston Martin. Do you know what I mean? You could have this kind of a scenario: a Perez Stroll, Verstappen Sainz. I mean, it really, from the end of this season to the beginning of next season, is the driver market is absolutely nuts. That could be legit. Red Bull could pick up Sainz, thinking it's a bit of an upgrade from Perez, but it's not that much of an upgrade where it's going to upset the Verstappen domination and upset the Verstappen train. But they have come to blows in the past, haven't they, Verstappen Sainz? So would that history of them come back to haunt them in a way? Because they were evenly matched at Toro Rosso back in the day, 10 years ago. Completely agree. Yeah, Williams lineup, Albon, Antonelli's. Could Sainz be waiting for Audi? Yeah, but the thing is, Sainz is either 29, 30 years old. He can't wait forever. Audi's joining in 26. By then, you'll be, 32? Then what if they're not competitive straight away? It could be take till 28 before Audi are competitive. By then, he's at the end of his career. So I don't know if Sainz can afford to wait for the Audi project to not only arrive but come to fruition. So I think Sainz are probably, whether he's offered or whether he goes for the Red Bull thing, I see a chance of that. But I'd say it's more likely, just because with the form that Perez is on at the moment, that they keep Perez just for the sake of continuity, and that he'll deserve it if he keeps on the way he started this season, which is not really challenging Max, but making sure he's ahead of the rest of them, which is the crucial thing. So I will stick with Sainz there for now. Where was he up to? I've not got a picture of Oliver Behrman, which is an overlook on my part, but it would be Oliver Behrman next to Nico Hulkenberg in at Haas. So you have to just imagine that. Now, one of these two I think will leave, like I say, whether it's Gasly or Ocon, I think one of them will jump ship, one of them will panic, and you might get a situation where Gasly's on the phone to Williams or one of them jumps over to Stake. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe they stick with it in the end. Maybe in the end, maybe I'm talking rubbish, and maybe in the end they both decide to stick with it because the seats are going to be filled up in the top half. And then at Stake, I think Zhou's done. Yeah, I think Lawson pretty much guaranteed. Yeah, so I've gone Tsunoda, Lawson at RB. Then I think Zhou Guanyu. I think it might be over. I think it might be over for Zhou Guanyu. Is this his third season? I think this is his third season. I think he's got to do something to keep his seat next year. He's got to improve. He's got to improve to keep his seat. I think they'll keep Bottas for the sake of, you don't want to be changing both drivers, and Bottas got the experience and the Grand Prix wins and everything. And then what I will do is I'll get Théo Pourchaire again, another beautiful picture. I'll get Théo Pourchaire, who was the F2 champion, reigning F2 champion, but you can't compete in it if you've already won it. But I'll put Théo Pourchaire in there with Valtteri Bottas. I hope that Théo Pourchaire doesn't get overlooked. I feel like he's going to be overlooked. I feel like he's not going to be in many people's predictions, but I'm going to put him in. I think F2 champions always deserve a shot and shouldn't be overlooked. You have to forgive me for not putting Oliver Bearman in. What I have got, though, who I did put in there as well, is Victor Martins. Again, beautiful picture. He'd thank me for that. Victor Martins, the Alpine Academy driver. Right, why don't we, for the sake of, we haven't got Oliver Bearman on here, but why don't we, for the sake of it looking a bit better, why don't we put one of these two to jump ship, go to Haas, and Victor Martins comes in at Alpine? There you go. What about that? Sorry, Ollie. Ollie Bearman's going to be in it. Haas. Whether it's with Magnussen or Hulkenberg, I don't know. Maybe Hulkenberg will move. It'll be Magnussen, Bearman. But I'm going for something like that, really. I don't know. Maybe Gasly. The Alpine one is the hard one, really, because they're going to want to bring in an academy driver. I feel like one, if not both of them, are going to think this ain't the one. And if Ocon gets the Mercedes call up, he's definitely gone. If Gasly can get an Aston Martin seat, he'll definitely go there. Maybe if Gasly can get a Williams seat, he'll go there. So, yeah. I haven't got Ollie Bearman, but that is pretty much my lineup. Yes, Anto, welcome to the stream, bro. What are we thinking to that? Right, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do if Verstappen leaves Red Bull as well. It might as well, innit? It's a bit of fun, this. I like doing this. Right. So let's do it if Verstappen leaves Red Bull, right? It all becomes too much, as you can see. It all becomes too much, and he decides, boom, I'm going. Right, let's put Alonso over here for a minute. Right, so the controversy all gets too much. Jos Verstappen, massive fallout with Christian Horner leads to this. Russell, move aside, me boy. Boom. Verstappen, Russell. Verstappen, Russell versus Hamilton, Leclerc. Yeah, this look says it all. That says it all. Right, so then what do Red Bull do if that happens? Does this then happen? Now we're getting into fantasy land now. Now we're getting into fantasy land, right? Verstappen leaves Red Bull. Too much controversy. Get out. Bang. Verstappen in with Russell. Right? Bang. Alonso in there. But then do they need to all drive? The thing is, if they get Alonso, well, they'd keep Perez for the sake of continuity, wouldn't they? They wouldn't just ditch Perez out of there. Imagine that. Alonso, Perez, Leclerc, Hamilton, Verstappen, Russell, Norris, Piastri, and then you've got to then go Sainz in at Aston. So I keep that as it is there. Would this then stay the same? I mean, what if Antonelli? Would the rest of it stay the same then? it's all about Alonso, isn't it? Really, the driver market. If Alonso moves, really, this is all really triggered. If Alonso leaves Aston for Mercedes, because it'd all be tied up pretty neatly if Red Bull just got Sainz off Ferrari, it'd just be a straight swap. No, it wouldn't. How would it work? How would it work, right? Oh, no, right. So Verstappen's moved. Alonso, they've got to get Alonso, haven't they? Surely, then Red Bull. Because they'd be on full panic stations then if Verstappen left. And the best seat on the grid's up for grabs. They'd all be on the phone, wouldn't they? You'd then have to go Alonso Perez then. Alonso Perez, Leclerc Hamilton, Verstappen Russell, Norris Piastri, Sainz Stroll, Albon Antonelli. Albon Antonelli's a lineup as well. Even though Antonelli's like sort of unproven. But Albon Antonelli's a lineup. And then Tsunoda. See, now Tsunoda could get the call up as well. There's so many different ways that this could fall. There's so many different alternate realities here. I think ultimately, that's what we're looking at, though. Something like that. But without Gasly, that's Behrman. But then where are you putting Gasly then? So maybe no Victor Martins then. Maybe in the end he doesn't get a shot because these two just stick with it. And Ollie Behrman comes in at Haas, which I haven't got a picture of him. So maybe Victor Martins has to wait in the wings. But there's too many drivers waiting in the wings is a problem. We need an 11th team. What else could happen? What if Yuki Tsunoda has a season of his life and they swap them two like that and they put Tsunoda in with Verstappen? That'd be nuts. That'd be nuts. The other thing I'd like to see Albon in there. I'd like to see Albon. I mean, Stroll should be gone, really. Stroll should be gone, but he won't be. So there's no point in even moving him about. And then what would you do with Sainz at that point? Sainz at Williams? I don't think he'd do that. Let me have a think here. There's so many different scenarios. I think Danny Rick's done. I think Zhou's done. Let's put Yuki back there. Sainz here. I think this could happen. And then Perez maybe there. I think Sargent, Ricardo and Zhou are done. I think Sargent, Ricardo and Zhou, I think the three of them won't be on the grid next season. And Kevin Magnussen, I don't know, Haas are going to be keen to bring in Behrman, without a doubt. Haas are going to be double keen to bring in Behrman. So you could get Magnussen. Could Magnussen move? Or does Hulkenberg move? I mean, is there a scenario here where you have Bottas retire, right, and then like a Hulkenberg across to here? Or State could roll with a Hulkenberg Bottas lineup, and this guy's on the sidelines, and they go with this, which is extremely mid, but also feasible. State could do this, do Hulkenberg Bottas, which keeps Kevin at Haas with Ollie Behrman. These two stick at it at Alpine. What? You know what I mean? Could that be it? Could that be it, really? And then we've got to do what if Alonso stays? Alpine is the hard one, man. That's my lineup. We've got Hulkenberg at Sauber with Bottas, Behrman at Haas with Magnussen. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here now. It could be Hulkenberg Bottas, which is a very experienced lineup. Can't knock it for that, but it's not the most exciting, but it's solid. I'm just messing about here. I might as well, innit? You mean have a bit of fun with it? See what kind of scenarios we can get. Now, what if Alonso doesn't take the Mercedes seat then? Let's rig that up, right? Let's put Sainz back over here a minute, because Sainz is on the picket line. You know what I mean? Sainz needs a seat, Rev. Right? Let's put Perez back over there, right? But this time, Alonso decides I've had enough. I'm retiring. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to do 24 races a year. I'm 43 years old and just decides I'm done. Unlikely, but not completely out of the question. There comes a point where he can't race forever. So then, a Mercedes going to be as bold as this? Probably not. As much as I'd love to see this as a scenario, sticking 17, or he'd probably be 18 by then, sticking 18-year-old Kimi Antonelli in there is farcical. Could we see this? I'd like to see that, but I don't think we will. Now, would Mercedes go Sainz and do a Russell Sainz? I love this. This is do you know what? This is better than the races, this. Because there's so many. And then of course you've got this scenario. You've got the Ocon Russell scenario, which is probably my least favourite idea. Which probably means it's the most likely. The Ocon Russell Mercedes lineup screams we're trying to recover and we're now a midfield team. It just somehow, to me, does a Russell Ocon lineup fight for the championship? It just doesn't sound that ambitious to me. Even though they're obviously both great drivers, but I mean, how many Grand Prix wins have you got there? 2. I mean, how many Grand Prix wins have McLaren got? None. but so I can't just base it on that. McLaren have got no Grand Prix wins between the pair of them, but we all know that's a good lineup. I was saying to Denver the other night, actually, that really he should move. Piastri should be on the move here. That would be the one, mate. If there's no chance of it. I'm in absolute cuckoo land. Absolute cuckoo land. But this move right here would be epic. Even though McLaren might end up being better than Mercedes. Anyway, McLaren might be a better place to be at Mercedes anyway. But why is that so much more exciting? Somehow, Piastri to Mercedes is 10 times more exciting than just staying there for another decade. It just is. Even though McLaren might actually be the better place. But it won't happen. Norris and Piastri are nailed down. Let's say Alonso goes, nah, you know what? I've had my years in F1. Lance Stroll, number one driver, of course. Could you imagine that? Where there's a seat going at Mercedes and Alonso doesn't take it or isn't offered it. They're not going to throw Antonelli in there. Would they put Alex in there? Or Carlos? Maybe Carlos gets it and it's that. And then because Alonso retires, Albon gets the Aston Martin. Right. Ricciardo moves to Williams. Sod it. Tsunoda's had an epic season. And they swap him in. No, I'm living in a dream world. And it's Victor Martins in it. No. Zhou's done, isn't he? No matter what scenario that I come up with, I think Zhou Guan Yu's finished. I think Logan Sargent's finished. I think he's going to have to do something spectacular, or does Alonso pack it all in, mate? Is that the lineup? Obviously, with an invisible Ollie Behrman there next to Kevin. No, the Ricciardo to Williams one is out of left field. We'll allow that. Alex can go back. He already looks shocked to be up there. Alex shouldn't be up there. Alex should be here, really. That's what I want to see. Realistically, what should happen is Sainz should go there. Really, this is what should happen. Sainz should go there. And really, they should get Alex. Or Fernando. Oh, the Fernando 1 year deal at Mercedes would be. Is that more exciting than them getting Alex? See, this is the thing. Is a Fernando at Mercedes? Yeah, that's mega, that. What a session I've had here messing about with this. I could do this all day. Just with no viewers, just me talking to myself. I don't care. It's funny. Isn't Lawrence Stroll supposed to be selling his shares? Oh, is he? Right. He's getting deleted then. Right. Stroll, deleted. See, really, that should be the scenario. Stroll should be gone. Stroll should be gone, really. And then, then you get one of these two from Alpine, innit? You know what I mean? You get put Gasly in there like that. All of a sudden, you're rock and roll, mate. Now you rock and roll. If Stroll's not occupying a seat, it's game on. This is my, oh, I've moved the wrong thing there. But if Stroll's not occupying a seat, then, You know, that's the reaction, isn't it? You know, if Stroll's gone, mate, mood, this. Then everything changes. Why have I put Yuki there? Could Yuki move? Do you know what I mean? Yuki at Aston, anybody? Do you know what I mean? We've got to bring Lance back in because we have. But then where would Sainz go? You could put Yuki up here. Oh, see, that'd be exciting, wouldn't it? But you'd never put Sainz in there, you see. And he wouldn't go to Haas or Alpine. The Audi project, it's too far off. Really? Or do you do this again, like I said at the beginning? Get Sainz in there. And then maybe Checo for a midfield team. Ooh. Maybe it's too early for Antonelli. Too early for Antonelli, and Perez goes there. I could do this all day. Too early for Antonelli, and Perez goes in there, mate. Bring Yuki back here. Who goes to Aston? Where's Alonso gone? Alonso's gone. Oh no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Perez to Aston. Well, I can't do this all. See, there's a lineup. Do you know what? I do like the Verstappen Sainz lineup at Red Bull. I feel that that's strong. That's stronger. I feel like that's a perfect balance, that. Because I feel like that's a stronger lineup than Verstappen Perez, but it's not like an absolute carnage lineup of like Verstappen Alonso or something completely nuts. I feel like a Verstappen Sainz lineup these days would be manageable and would be probably their best option. But back to reality. I think Sainz at Aston Martin. And Alonso had a 1-year deal at Mercedes. Antonelli in it. In fact, I've changed this bottom row a bit. I'll keep it like this. Antonelli in at Williams. Tsunoda another year at RB, but he'll want out. You see, I keep moving him around because I'm thinking we can't just stay at RB forever. He can't just stay at Red Bull B team forever. He's going to want out. But there might not be nowhere to go. Lawson in, Magnussen there with Behrman. These two will have to stay put, really. Unless, like I say, unless Ocon gets this kind of a move. And where is it for Gasly to go as well, you see? Is Gasly going to want this? Could Gasly go here? Gasly to Williams. No one's ever said that. But then again, he might as well just keep faith with Alpine. That would be a mad one, though. Let's say Antonelli's not quite ready. Gasly there, bang, Albon Gasly. Then they have to call up the junior. Maybe that's it. Albon Gasly lineup at Williams would be strong as well. I just have the feeling that one of these two Alpine drivers is gonna jump ship. I mean, fair play. If the Alpine driver lineup is still Gasly Ocon next season, then fair play, they've stuck with it. And I hope Antonelli gets a shot either way. I think that's how it could look. With an invisible Ollie Behrman there next to Kevin Magnussen, I'm going with that. Final answer. Right, I'm going. We've been 52 minutes on this. Honestly, I could do another 52 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Verstappen there, mate. That is it there, banging it. Then all hell breaks loose if Verstappen moves. And they think, nah. Oh, that's a lineup. But he won't though. I hope Alonso is offered and does take the Mercedes 1 year deal. I don't think they'll go Sainz Russell, will they? I don't think they'll go Sainz Russell like that. Is that a lineup? No, it's Sainz Aston Martin. And it's Alonso on a 1 year all you can eat buffet. On a 1 year sayonara move to Mercedes. I think Ricciardo might be gone. Martins might have to wait in the wings. I think Zhou might be gone. I think Sargent might be gone. Teo Porcher, my initial idea was that he was going to get in here, you see. Maybe Bottas retires. Do you know what I mean? What about that? All change at Sauber. Anyway, I can mess about with that all day, but thank you if you have watched. Cheers, doggy. Nah, these off the cuff streams, mate. Just a bit of fun, innit? Right. Anyway, I'll be back for you've heard me waffle on for an hour now, Dougie, moving these pictures around, imagining an alternate universe long enough. Yeah, that's my final lineup. Again, I'm gonna get Mr. Beard back in there. That's it. With an invisible Ollie Behrman at Haas there. That's my 2025 lineup. Probably be proved very wrong, but I've gone through many iterations. But yeah, I'll be back for the Australian Grand Prix stuff coming up this weekend. I might do FP1 in the middle of the night. I don't know. And then qualifying is going to be early hours Saturday morning. I don't know if it's a bit later than a race. It might be like 5 a.m. or something like that. And then the Australian Grand Prix itself, Sunday morning, 3:45 in the morning. 3:45 a.m. Sunday morning for Australia. 1 million views incoming. Anyway, I will see you for that. Peace out. It's been fun. All right, I'll tell you what, yeah. No word of a lie. That's been good. I enjoyed that. Right. Catch you in a bit. See you in a bit, Dougie.